This is Muhammad again. I'm here today with Ashley. She's first quarter in the school and I've been taking care of her spine and nervous system. We've had an amazing result. So let's talk about when I first saw you, what brought you into the clinic?
I had very bad headaches. They would be hard for me to focus in class, sleep, and just like in my regular daily life.
Okay. Now, how long you've had that for before coming to the clinic?
A couple months.
Okay.
I would say at least like half a year.
Half a year? You remember you told me like you had from high school you played sport, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played basketball probably since I was in third grade.
Okay.
And I did have some head injuries like as I was going through. So.
Gotcha. And then you've had a fall as well one time from like a layup or something?
Yes, I got undercut and I landed like straight on my butt, like straight flat. Yeah.
And you had a spasm at one time?
Yes,
okay.
I had severe back spasms. That's like the first time I ever got adjusted was for my back spasms.
Gotcha.
I couldn't walk, couldn't like turn or anything. They were just that bad.
Remember, you saw a chiropractor at that time?
That was my first time getting adjusted.
And that helped you too with that injury? Okay, that's good. And so now I've been seeing her for a month. We just finished the first RA. And you want to talk about how, like what has changed in your life ever since you've been under care?
I'm sleeping a lot better. My headaches are basically non-existent. I can focus when I'm studying in class. I can get a lot more done, which is basically why I like made it through my first quarter.
That's awesome.
So I don't know, it just made everything. I mean, school is stressful already, but it made it a lot easier not having to worry about like if I'm gonna get a headache today or
that's awesome.
If I can't do this tomorrow.
Okay, that's great. So the same thing now. She's gonna go through the program and learn about chiropractic and be really effective with everything she's here in school and changing a lot of people's life as well. So that was a testimonial for today, and later to come we're gonna cover more testimonials in different videos. Thank you for tuning in. And this was my second patient in student clinic who changed my life. I've had 8 patients in student clinics. The other ones had experienced chiropractic before meeting me, but those 2 in particular I've had amazing experience with, and I went through 6 months of student clinic. The next videos coming up will be from people from the outpatient when I go in the end of March. I'll be seeing people for 9 months there. As you guys have seen in the previous video, on this video, I haven't added anything to the body or took away anything from it. All I've done is I worked with the brain and nervous system. Every time she came in, I've analyzed the spine and found what is subluxation and then adjust accordingly. And that's how we allow the body to restore its function and allow it to communicate between the brain and nervous system as it was created to. So I've seen her twice a week for a month. And now we're gonna go to once a week after we come back from break because she's out of that phase. And I'm going to show you guys the x-ray in a minute, but every time she came in through her visit, her spine and nervous system was adapting, whether it was like emotional stresses or you know, from school or family or friends, or as I mentioned before, subluxation is 3-part. It's trauma, thought, and toxins. The trauma is the repetitive movement we do every day, sitting on a chair, you know, studying for long hours, working out. All this stuff affect our spine. But then we have also the thoughts and the toxins. What happened emotionally in our body is all stored in the spine. So through the month, there was a couple times where her subluxation was not holding because of school or with friends and stuff like that. So that's how important it is your spine and nervous system, and you always to keep it clear out of interference, or what we call it subluxation. So the brain and the nervous system operate the body and have that homeostasis balance between parasympathetic and sympathetic. Now let's go over the x-ray and I'll show you guys what she had growing up and then how we adjusted the spine each visit. And now again, every video I'm going to show you guys the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. And you can see the blue is parasympathetic, everything yellow is sympathetic. And in her case, the rest and digest was mostly the atlas and C2, and then this one at the bottom, you can see the sacrum here. And also she had menstrual issues, and you can see all the sacrum nerves go all the way to the ovaries and all the other stuff. So we forgot to talk about that. And then here you can see the digestive system from the sympathetic later on when I adjusted her. So that's basically what it is. And I'm gonna show you guys a picture every time. This is a quote. It says, chiropractic is specific or it's nothing. So there's so many techniques in chiropractic, and Gonstead is the top technique, I consider it, for me, in chiropractic. It has to be specific. If someone is adjusting your spine and they don't use the technique, or they're not specific, then that's not chiropractic, because your nervous system is really unique, and your spine is like your teeth, right? Nobody should be working on your spine who does not have the knowledge or does not have a technique. Now, before I talk about what I adjusted the first visit, this is her upper cervical complex. And when you guys see these lines and the letters, those are the listing on the x-ray, so we know how to adjust what we found on the examination. This one is for the atlas, the C1. This is for the C2 axis bone, and this is for the occiput. Now, she had an atlas on the examination. It was a severe 15 nerve pressure, and this is the area where the nerve, the brainstem sits, and then the spinal cord go through. It's a really important area in the spine, and now a lot of tension headaches and migraines and stuff can be mostly from here, but her problem started from the pelvis too, from all the injuries. When we look at the lateral side of the cervical, I see a straight neck, and all the time straight neck is related to migraines and headaches and stuff. So I'd like to see a C shape in here. Now, in terms of disc, everything looks normal. When we come up to here, between C2 and C3, because she had a hit growing up, it seems like there is the ossification between C2 and 3. Later on, I work on C2. I'll talk about it in a minute. You can see, guys, this is the spinous process is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And between C2 and C3, there's like the C3 spinous is fabricated more than it's supposed to be. And that was a major key for her C2 when I adjusted it on C3. There should be a little of gap in between the space, and you can see the space is narrowing. She had an injury playing basketball. She was squished and hit between two players, but that could be also from younger age. A lot of kids fall all the time growing up. And if we go down to her major, where everything started, it was mostly in the sacrum. So a lot of athletes, a lot of people have sacrum issues. Not only athletes, even people like just growing up, babies fall all the time. So the sacrum is a really important area. Now let's talk about her major thing, which is the sacrum. It started everything above, and you can guys see here the sacrum has 5 tubercles. It start fusing at the age of 5 all the way to 30. And in her case, because you fall in her buttock playing basketball from a layup, and then not only athletes have these problems, even just kids growing up, they always fall on their buttock and all that stuff. So if you guys can see here between S1 and S2, there's an opening here between the disc, and that was a major on her on the examination. I have the same issue because I've fallen my buttock from a rebound when I play basketball, but mine is between S2 and S3. And this has started everything above, all the problem for her. L5 was there, but it wasn't the major. You guys can see the disc here, and then you guys can see all this going backward. It should be less curve. I want it like this is going more backward than it's supposed to be. I wanted like a 60-degree curve, and that's all because of what happened down here. Now, if we look at the pelvis, let's go to the pelvis. The pelvis was normal, like there wasn't a lot of shifts. Is that L5 again? But it wasn't the major. The major was the S1 right here. All these number and measurement is to see how the pelvis is working. And on the examination, it was fine. There was nothing major. And then we go up the chain. Let's go here. She had an T12 one time and L1 one time, a couple of times actually. This is where the stress area happens between the nerve goes out of here and goes to the adrenal, and it controls a lot of our hormonal issues. And if we go up the chain a little bit, she had also T7 and T6 here. She had subluxation. Now this is where the digestive system, the liver, the stomach control everything. And also, she also had the subluxation at T3, T4 area. This area control the breathing, control the lungs and the heart. But a lot of the area in the thoracic is all subluxation. It's all compensation for what happened below in the sacrum. But you can see there's not a lot of deviation. It's nice. Everything is nice. So when she first came in, I adjusted because she had headaches and she hadn't been able to sleep. So I wanted to stay in parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest, which is in the cervical and in the bulbous and sacrum. So I adjusted. She had a high pressure on the atlas. I adjusted that one time, as well as the C1 here. You guys, that's the S1. Sorry. So I stayed in parasympathetic, and when she came back, she said that she slept for the first time in a long time and that her headache went away. So now I was able to move on and go to sympathetic. I worked on C2 later because I told you guys there was a lot of stuff going on at C2. There was a pressure after I cleared that C1. Only one time she needed it. That's it, and it holds. And I just did C2 for the next visit. I kept working on that as well as the sacrum. It needed a couple of adjustments. And then in the meantime, I was monitoring this area. Sometimes she had T7. Sometimes when she's stressed, it was T12. This is the area I told you control the adrenals and all that stuff. And also, she mentioned that she had a good appetite after like 4th visit, and her digestive system feel more relaxed. So that's a good sign too. She forgot to talk about that. But this is pretty much it. This is what chiropractic is all about, and I'm glad that you guys sticking around to watch the video and learn more about chiropractic. My goal is to show people that there's always an answer for their health. It's always in the spine and whole food. If people understand that, then I'm doing my job. And thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the videos coming in later. Have a good day.